This video is part of the process mining use case series, where we'll focus on different techniques to identify process inefficiencies, non-conformant activities, and improvement opportunities. Now, approvals are an important part of certain business processes, but they can also disrupt the efficient execution of the process and extend task completion times. So to help mitigate these issues, organizations should focus on optimizing approval processes within the platform, setting clear SLAs for approvals, automating routine decisions, and improving communication and transparency among users and approvers. Process mining can provide visibility into situations where the approval step of the process is causing significant delays, so we know where we might want to make some adjustments to the process. So how are we going to do this analysis? In this example, the approval step we're using is at the requested item level. So we've configured a multi-dimensional map using both the requested item table and the SE task table, so we can focus on both inefficiencies that live in the approval step of the process, as well as the task level, where the actual fulfillment work gets done. For the requested item table, we've added both state and approval as activities. So adding the approval field as an activity will allow us to isolate situations where there's a long time between the approval request and when it's actually approved. And just so you know, the accompanying blog post to this recording contains the steps to configure this project that you're looking at here on the screen. So what you're looking at here is this table on the left, or the process on the left. This is the requested item, right, where we're moving through both requests, right, and this, the request activities as well as the state activities. And then on the right here, we have the actual tasks aligned to these requested items, so we can dig into the fulfillment piece as we start to narrow down the data. What we're specifically going to be looking at is this step from request to approved here. And we can see if we open this up, right, we had 1,000 approvals. The median duration is an hour, but the average duration is 1 week. And we can see we have some long runners out here that could be skewing the data. But specifically, if we wanted to focus in on approvals that are taking a long time, what we can do is we can use our transition filters again. And if we click on transitions, we can come here and we can say, I want to look at the approval step and say where it is requested first, then come in here and say followed by, or directly followed by, approval is approved. Now, of course, we want to look at the things that are taking a long time. So what we can do is we can add this constraint. I'm just going to add a constraint of things that take longer than 5 days from when the request was requested or the approval was requested and it moved to the approved state. You can adjust this based on your use case, and we'll hit apply. And this is going to narrow things down now to just the items in which the approval took longer than 5 days. And I can zoom in a little bit again here. And you'll see for these, we've got approvals that are taking, let's say, on average, there was 163 of these that took longer than 5 days, and their average duration is 2 months. If I want to start digging into this a little bit deeper now, I can start using my breakdowns on the left-hand side of the screen. We set this up to look at items, the items that were requested, the assignment groups, and the locations they're coming in. But items is the specific one we want to focus on. And the one at the top of the list here, Tableau desktop license requests, the average duration of these is 6 months and 2 weeks, right? That's crazy. So maybe we want to focus in on these. And we can hit apply to narrow it down to just these items. And then when I narrow it down to just these Tableau desktop license requests, I can see that my average time between requested and approval is 4 weeks, right? The median is 1 week though. And you can see here using the histogram that I've got a whole bunch of these right up front, right, that are taking less than 4 weeks. And there's just this one outlier here that's really skewing it a little bit. So I could choose to dig in and just check out this one, but I probably want to focus in on these, the majority of them that fell into that bucket of 4 weeks or less. So we'll narrow it down to just those 33. But you'll see I still have a 5-month and 3-week average fulfillment time or duration for these Tableau desktop licenses. I can see now at the requested item level, 1 week of that time is packaged up in the approval step of the process. Certainly we can improve there. But now that I've got this in a multi-dimensional map, what I can do is I can start actually looking at the tasks associated with those 34, in this case, Tableau desktop licenses. And I can start looking for where the bottlenecks are in this process. So from open to 5 days, it takes 5 days before it moves into the pending state, and then 1 week for these specific ones. to go to close complete. I have these 11 that go directly. They don't even go into a pending state. They go from open to close complete, but on average, they're taking 1 month and 2 weeks. Then I have these 5 that took 8 months to go to close skipped. So there's lots that I can dig into at the fulfillment level, but really the purpose of this video was to show you how we could use process mining to start analyzing potential bottlenecks in the approval request step of the process, and then tying that back to the fulfillment tasks. As I mentioned earlier, the steps you need to configure this project or a project like this on your own, they'll be in the accompanying blog post. Appreciate your time. Happy mining, everyone.